building is the cause of infighting and problems. And it says in the article, this is the expert opinion of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, founder of the worldwide Transcendental Meditation movement, who is alerting Indian government leaders that a basic cause of their constant fighting over the problems of the nation is because they are holding meetings in a parliament building with a wrong vastu. Quote, I have been telling the government the same thing for the past 10 years, Maharishi said. Nothing good can ever come from the government as long as it is in a bad vastu. Maharishi delivered his message to the Indian press during a global news conference from his headquarters in Meru, Holland. Later on, the article states, Maharishi emphasized that there are no exceptions to the rule, quote, even a beautiful parliament building made of marble, which has been designed by a famous architect, should be demolished if it has a wrong layout, Maharishi said. Otherwise, the mind of the President, Prime Minister and his ministers will never be settled. Their thinking will always be disorderly and off balance. And this news has ricocheted around the world with the help of Dr. Hagelin and Dr. Morris and all our speakers today. An article here from the Hindustan Times, South is bad vastu for Bush and Blair. Deccan Herald of India, Bush gets some unorthodox advice. And from the online news service About.com, one of the world's largest news and information websites reaching millions of people worldwide, we have a headline, Hagelin warns government leaders about improper layout. And here's an article from the Press Trust of India. Press Trust of India is the principal news agency in India, which goes to over 2,000 newspapers, televisions and radio stations throughout India, and their news is reproduced by those media. Divisive and destructive government policies will become more coherent and harmonious overnight if government leaders live and work in buildings that are properly designed according to the principles of ancient Vedic architecture in harmony with natural law, as revived by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. This is the advice delivered today by Dr. John Hagelin, renowned quantum physicist and President of the US Peace Government, during a Washington press briefing. Dr. Hagelin is calling on the world press to urge government leaders in every country to abandon their improperly designed government buildings and replace the old buildings with properly oriented, fortune-creating offices and residence that face the rising sun in the east. Such buildings will promote orderly thinking and thereby ensure greater harmony and success for the government and peace and prosperity for the nation. And quoting Dr. Hagelin again, the report in the Press Trust of India says, nothing good will ever come from the government as long as the leaders are living and working in the disorderly influence of improperly designed and orientated buildings, Dr. Hagelin said. The leaders should flee these old buildings as if they were hit by an earthquake. And indeed, that's just what's happening. The National Post of Canada reported recently that an engineering study released in Canada showed that the building was riddled with asbestos. And the headlines in the Canadian national press said that the MPs, the members of Parliament of Canada, should abandon that building and never enter it again. As natural law becomes stronger in the world, the phenomenon will take place automatically, that the government leaders will realize they have to abandon these old buildings. Here's an article from the Patriot News in the United States. Maharishi says west-facing Capitol skews coherent minds. The article reads, some people fault the internal politics at the Capitol for Pennsylvania's problems. Others blame the elected officials who work under the dome. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the father of Transcendental Meditation, blames the actual building. It faces the wrong direction. A government building with an entrance facing any direction but east skews people's thinking and is the cause of many governmental failures, the Maharishi said. People do not know that a greater part of the negative influences in life come from the wrong layout of the buildings in which they live and work, Maharishi said. And the article quotes, I think Maharishi just explained everything that's wrong in Pennsylvania, said Matthew Bruett, president of the Commonwealth Foundation, a government reform group. Summon the bulldozers. So that's where we end our review of the way the world press has responded to the re-emergence, the renaissance of Vedic architecture summon the bulldozers for the old buildings, and start the reconstruction of the world. Maharshi's global reconstruction program for world peace. As Maharshi said, there's really no way to be truly happy in life without living in proper Vastu. Because Vastu means that the connection between the individual and his cosmic life is lively. We live in buildings, always. We live and work in buildings, and these buildings are an interface between ourselves, our own human physiology, and the cosmos around us. Within ourselves we have our own cosmic self. We have that unified field of total natural law, the field of the constitution of the universe on the level of our own pure consciousness. And for that totality of natural law that's available within us to be expressed in its completeness, not only do we need a healthy body, but we need to put that body in a structure which is in tune with total natural law. Otherwise, the thoughts that emerge will be skewed. They will not be in accord with natural law, and they'll lead to misfortune of all kinds. If we live in a building that is in accord with the totality of natural law, the constitution of the universe, then the thoughts that emerge within ourselves and the speech and behavior that that gives rise to will naturally be in tune with the totality of natural law. That thought and speech and behavior will promote good fortune for ourselves, automatically, naturally, promoting good health, success, fulfillment, good fortune. That's why we call them lucky homes, fortune-creating homes and offices, hotels, schools, colleges, universities, government buildings. Our global reconstruction program is to bring good fortune to the whole world through reconstruction of every single building on the entire planet in full accord with the totality of natural law to promote health, wealth, wisdom and good fortune for everyone on this dear planet of ours. Jai Gurudev.
Commentary by His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi.
Jai Gurudev. Enough arguments have been presented to the listeners. Now they should know whether they want to live life driven by the field of knowledge or driven by the field of ignorance. Choice is to everyone. And everyone should know that just as everything positive is possible by following the path of knowledge, similarly everything negative is possible by following the path of ignorance. All good is possible in the field of light, and all non-good is possible in the field of darkness. Either continue to remain where you are and continue with whatever your life is wrapped around, or make a decision today, think that the building is fallen down due to your intention or not, but due to the earthquake. The earthquake has taken down the building. Think like that and immediately change your house to be a fortunate house. Fortune creating buildings. Enough arguments have been done, and if you want to think, listen to the tape, and if you want to think more, listen to the tape of all these showers of knowledge